All right, so we'll get started. So Kelly doesn't start singing.
I shut his mic off.
Are talking.
All right, 4 o'clock. So we'll go through some logistics here. Okay. We do have the camera on. This will get posted to our normal channels, YouTube, Sandy Pines, Facebook. And then Ian is working on, did anybody get an email for On the Scene? Did anybody get that? So there is an email list for that Ian is trying to communicate directly to members. I think it was an opt-in, opt-out for like footprints and things like that. So this communication will go through the official Sandy Pines communications of our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, and then Ian will email that out. And you can find all those links on our website. So for 4 o'clock, I was hearing we weren't going to have a lot of people because this was strategically placed at 4 o'clock, so nobody would show up, which is totally inaccurate. Okay. To give you a little insight and background on this. So one, we have seen the emails, we have seen the Facebook posts. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not on Facebook. I don't get into that because it takes a lot of energy, and a lot of the stuff on there, you need to have a meeting like this to clarify things. Okay. So this is an important enough subject that we wanted to pull everybody together last minute. So thank you for coming. 4 o'clock, right after this at 5 o'clock, we have people coming in to set up for the town hall. We have a town hall tomorrow for the contractors and building and development in the park. So then you start getting into next week, 4th of July. We felt this was important enough to get it in, apologize that it's 4 o'clock. But hey, we got a great turnout. So thank you for showing up. We're going to walk through what we've been doing for many years at the pool and water park. Some of the things that some have been successful, some have not been successful. And then we're going to kind of walk through what led up to the regulation change, the policy change. And then we're going to give some examples of what is accepted, what we're not going to accept at the pool. And then we're going to do some Q&A because we're open for input. We're looking for ideas, but the fact of the matter is some of the stuff that's been, posted, hey, put public safety out there 24/7 during their shifts to search bags and sniff cups and things like that. That's not doable. We do have public safety out there when things get escalated. We've done a lot of different things. We're kind of looking at, hey, we don't want to over police. We don't want to, I fall in this as well. Quite honestly, before I look through here, yeah, okay, my wife's not here. So when this came out, I signed her up on the rave. She just got signed up on the rave this past week. And this is one of the first raves she's got. And she's like, I just brought a brand new bag for our grandson to take to the pool. What are we doing? Well, we're gonna have to go to a clear bag. But again, I'm open for dialogue on this. We are kind of at our wit's end with some of the stuff that's going on at the pool and the water park. So, okay. Sound like a plan? Okay, all right. So, contrary.
If we get introductions, that'd be.
Sure, yeah. Sure. You want to hand the mic down? And so I'm John Schweitzer, park president.
Alan Carpenter, chairman of the board.
Tom Deckinga on the board. Elvis Johnson, vice chair.
Craig Van Beek on the board.
Scott Wyman on the board.
Okay, you're welcome. So, contrary to what's been going out on the websites, Facebook, this is not a rule change. And to give you clear explanation of board governance versus operational enforcement, policies, rules, procedures, the board governs the parks. The board will, through resolutions, pass rules, amend rules, things of that nature. When that is done, that gets turned over to me and my staff to enforce. Now, every single rule, example, no food, no beverages, that's been a rule forever at the pool area, right? That's been a rule forever. How we go about doing that, predecessors before me, myself, we put policies and procedures in place to enforce those rules, okay? This is as it was sent out, regulation, policy, procedure. It is a change to enforcing the rule that has not changed. Does that make sense? Okay. So this rule has not changed. Here's what we've done over numerous years, at least since I've been here. Let's talk about capacity. Okay. We'll start there. Capacity at the pool really was established during COVID. In order to get the park open during COVID, by the way, that was my first year and it wasn't my fault that COVID hit the park. But we had to figure out what to do. So we had to put a policy in place to check people in and out. We worked with the health department on what is the capacity of the park. I wasn't here before COVID. The feedback we got, the flack that we got from members, associates, guests was, hey, it was a free-for-all. We had like 300, 500 people at the pool. It was great. What are you doing? From a state of Michigan standard, back in the day, we shouldn't have been doing that. Your capacity is based on a lot of things: the size of your pool, the size of your deck, the fixtures that you have to allow people to come in and out to use restrooms, and most importantly, the number of lifeguards that you have there. So coming out of COVID, we learned, holy cow, our capacity, we were kind of screwing that up. So we put the policy in place. Here's what our capacity is. It's about 100, what is it, Abby, 150, 155? 156. And that's based on lifeguards. The policy is that can change based on how many lifeguards we hire. You do not see that capacity in the rule. It's nowhere in the rule book, but it is a state regulated law that we have to follow. Okay. So out of that, we put that policy in place. Coming out of COVID, we got feedback from the members. Hey, this is actually great because my grandson, little Johnny, isn't getting run over all the time because there's 500 people in the pool. So that's why we line up. That's why we rotate every hour, because we want to make certain that everybody gets an ample amount of time. I've been to the pool many times where, hey, you line up, you get out, there's nobody else standing in line, you can go right back in. So on some days, you can get in and out, and you can have a 3-hour tour there. You guys caught that one, right? You can have the pool there for 3 hours, or you're hard at 50 minutes and you're out. So these are policies that we put in place at the pool. In regards to the issues that we're having now, here's what our staff does. You go in and you stand in line, or you get checked in when you get let in, right? Their purpose at that table is a couple of things. One, they are looking at your bags. Two, they are looking at what you're carrying in your hand, whether it's this, or this. They are looking at what you're carrying in your hand. They are also counting the heads to make certain that we're at capacity and we don't go over that capacity. We've been doing that really forever. I know it's been, since I've been here, we put a real conscious effort on that. We also have leads at our pools. Our leads are 18 years old. Some are 19-ish, but they're 18 years old. they do walk around periodically and they have asked people to leave. Brian, you've got combos. You can't have them in the pool area. Either, dump them, leave, go eat them outside. You can come back in the next 50 minutes. So-and-so, I'm sorry. You've got pop in here, pop, Gatorade, juice, no beverages. It's always been, we'll allow water in the pool area. Okay, it gets spilled, it gets in the pool. You're cleaning out Gatorade, you're cleaning out pop, you're cleaning out alcohol, things of that nature. Okay, the rotating of people is not, again, because of peeing in the pool. I saw that one as well. That's not why we rotate members in and out. We have a firm, here's our process and procedure. So we have leads looking at that. Okay, well, what about PSO? PSO gets called when things get escalated. I'm going to pick on Brian. I'm sorry. Brian, I've asked you to leave twice. You will not leave. You're still eating your combos. You're getting crumbs all over the place. I'm not leaving. Okay, we'll call PSO. PSO will have a conversation with Brian. Brian may acquiesce and say, all right, you call the PSO on me. I'm leaving. Brian may escalate that. PSO will drag that person out. They will get fined. All of this is happening.
Good job, Brian.
You should see Brian's account.
That's
So-
a lot of combos.
Not a true story.
Right. Yeah, no, Brian's being ready. That's not a true story. So these are things that we are doing on a regular basis that many of the people in that pool may not be seeing because rightfully you are focused in on enjoying the time with your kids, your grandkids. But these things are happening on a regular basis. So what is happening? What is happening is there's confrontation, there's bickering, there's fighting, there's threats. People are getting thrown out. And this is all towards 15, 16, and 17-year-old kids. Unacceptable. I'm open for suggestions, but I've seen guests, I've seen associates, I've seen members. You guys want your kids in that spot? So to make this easier, this is what we've done. Again, we're open for suggestions. The rule came through, or the policy came through that clear water line. Now, if we need to change that to clear container, this is acceptable. We can see that it's clear in here. Okay, water is in here. Not acceptable. I don't care if this is a rum and Coke, coffee. This is coffee, by the way. Pop, iced tea. I don't care. But we can see it. If you're filling this up, I've also seen stuff on Facebook that, hey, well, you know what? I can walk in with this thing and it's full of ice and vodka and gin because those are clear. You guys forgot tequila. There's some tequila that's clear too. But hey, I can walk in with that. If you're coming in for 50 minutes at a time with this full of gin, vodka, tequila, there's a different discussion, right? But we can see what is coming in. And we are trying to prevent our kids from having to confront adults who should be following the rules. Okay? Clear and simple. That's what we're trying to do. I'm a member. Everybody here is a member. I don't know how we have is everybody a member? We have associates in here too. We have associates. Okay, so everybody's a member in here. We get it. We empathize that this is impacting all of us and it's not fun. But our staff is at a loss they're tired of going to their jobs with, hey, I've got to dress an adult who should be following the rules. We've had koozies that say Sprite and Coca-Cola on it. And smack dab in the middle of the koozie is a Budweiser, Twisted Tea, Oberon, you name it. people are just continuing to try and find a way to bring stuff into the pool, and we need to stop it. Now, we have talked about, and this is a no-win situation really for us operationally and for the board, we have talked about, okay, I can use Brian, use Billy Joe, you get out, we've caught you, you're banned from the pool for a year. You know, we could go down that road as well. But we want you to come in and enjoy the pool and do it the right way. Okay? So anything from Ellen, anything from the board that you guys want to address or talk about?
You know, as a member, I go to the pool. I don't need to have alcohol with me. We can't blame campers for all of it. Yeah, some of it is campers. I saw that comment. It's not all campers. It's associates, guests, and members. So we need to leave our alcohol at home, leave our snacks at home, and not be nasty to 16 and 17-year-old kids who more than likely are the children and grandchildren of the other people sitting in this room. So, you know, like Jeff said, we'll talk about it. But I have a real problem that people can't just do the right thing. I saw comments on Facebook that made it out to be a joke. It's not a joke to that 16-year-old. And when we start having staff that will not come back, that quit, we're going to have to shut down a pool.
Okay, so here's the thought process. Here's what we're getting ready to implement, right? Again, we went through the examples here. These are clear, acceptable. You know, I hear it all the time, and I don't disagree with people's feelings on, hey, this is toxic plastic. I don't want to drink that. There are other options. You got turbis cups. You've got clear things to bring. Just anything clear. We'll change the wording to clear container. Mesh bags that you can see through are acceptable. Okay. We've got clear bags on order. Again, I saw online, well, you're just doing this for more profits to sell things. No, we're trying to do this to have you guys enjoy the park, have our staff try and do their job and not walk home saying, I hate dealing with people because it's confrontational all the time. Another thing that we've got on order is they should be here, I think, Tuesday in prep for the holiday is you go to Meijer, you go to Family Fair, Lemons, whatever. You got your big cart, you got your little cart, and then you got your little basket that you can pick up. We've got little baskets on order that you can put your stuff in there. Bring your bag back to your cart if you need to. Here's a basket. Go in. It's red, so we can track it. It's supposed to be red. I haven't seen it come in from Amazon yet. And then, you know, we'll have a Sandy Pine sticker. Okay. We're trying to give the community options to help us and as well as abide by the rules. Okay. So those are some of the things that we're trying to do. Open to suggestions. Open it up now for any comments. We've got about 42 minutes. Yes, in the back. Can you name and site number? Yep, no, good question. So Melanie N. 104. Good question. Are the baskets purchased or are they going to be at the gate? They're going to be at the gate. I think we're going to have 40 at the water park area. We'll have 20 or so at phase 2. Phase 3, I don't have any coming yet. But you come in, you want to dump your stuff in there, take it with you, and then bring it back to the counter and leave it with the check-in team as you leave. You don't have to purchase it. It's kind of like shopping. When you're done, drop it back in the stack. Yes, Karen in the back. Yes, good question. So Karen, 972. 982.
978.
978. I'll get it. I will get it. It's been a long day and it's been a long week, so I'll get it right. I know. So the question is, can we get, either an ice machine or one of the things that we're talking about is one of the filter machines for water at the water park. Yes, we can look at that. It's gonna be a little more difficult for an ice machine there, but you have Happy Shack there. Happy Shack has the ability if you.
You don't have Happy Shack at all.
I'm sorry. I understand. I understand. So water park, if you're at the water park, Happy Shack is more than willing to say, hey, can you fill this up with ice? Agreed. That's not everywhere. Yes, ma'am.
But like phase two, has a really nice like water fill station. And I don't know why we can't be treated like airport security, where you have to come into the park and then it's not clear. Right? But like if it isn't clear, like another one, it keeps things colder and longer. So why are we just showing an empty water level? And there's no risk in anything. The other question I have too is like, it feels like we're getting reprimanded for the minority. And what
Mhm.
and this stuff coming up, I know how we have to do that, but like, I know you jokingly said, maybe it wasn't so, but you mentioned like, we banned them for a year, but like, what is happening for those who are violating, why, I do worry about the staff, and like, that was my email to recreation, was like, putting more on them to have to take care of, like, you're dealing with people, like randomly, we're like, but I just lost that. I just had my kid. I didn't know about this. And like, it just creates more consternation. And I'm nervous because I'm going to lose that. And like, I'm like, why can't it be like when we check out equipment at the rec department for the golf clubs and all of that? Like, if we have to sign in and sign out so there's accountability, if I kick you out, like, well, I've got your name, I've got your site, like, there is a consequence. We have to just go periodically, like we do now. Like, it does feel like a lot of us are really upset about feeling like we had a few who screwed it for many, and we're putting more pressure on the life.
I really like your idea. It's obviously not up to me, but I really like your idea about the empty container. And I'm not trying to get after everybody, but what I am trying to do is impress upon the members, to impress upon their guests and associates how to treat staff and what the rules are, because it may not be anybody in this room, but it may be somebody can we just avoid it to begin with and try to make, when you have a guest come, just. But I would like to think better of our members, that they would at least have a conversation with their guests and their associates to be respectful and follow the rules. That's pretty simple. Maybe that can help some of it. That's my point. Yeah, there's going to be rule breakers.
So to answer your question, I empathize. Let me answer hers and I'll get to you in a second. Oh, I'm sorry. The question. So basically the question and the question, what are the consequences of the rule breakers? Because it feels like the majority is getting punished for the minority. Fair? Okay. So that's what the question was. So what are the consequences? You know, we have walked through. When I first started here, the feedback that I got from the members was public safety was militant. You know, if I stepped on the grass, I got a violation. If I did this, I got a violation. It was violation after violation. Terrible interaction between members and public safety. So we've tried to peel that back and do the education of, hey, Billy Joe, you're not supposed to have this here. Please, this is a warning, get rid of it. Billy Joe comes back next week. Billy Joe, we've talked about this. All right, now all of a sudden we're writing you up. We're asking public safety to come. You're getting fines. We've had abusive staff violations. We've had people get written up for leaving the park. Now, is that number? So again, is that number 100 people a year? No, we don't want that to be 100 people a year. We want people to understand this is the rule. Please abide by it. But there are consequences. Now, the other side of this story is, like I said earlier, we can ratchet up that consequence. And Billy Joe, I talked to you last week. You're out. You're gone for a year. And then we can do that. We can do that. But here's what transpires from that then is all of a sudden the Facebook and the email stuff about this situation has now become, did you hear about what happened to Billy Joe? And let's go through arbitration. And then I'm gonna write to the board and I'm gonna do it. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to find that happy medium of give the staff the ability to, hey, I now can see what's coming through. I don't have to worry about koozies. I don't have to worry about, is that a rum and coke? A hottie toddy, whatever. My daughter goes to Ole Miss, so hottie toddy. And then, all this other stuff. It's clear, it's water. The assumption is water. If you're drinking that whole thing of vodka, we'll find out in probably the 25-minute mark of your 50 minutes as you're falling down flat on your face. So that's different. So we're trying to find that happy medium. Excuse me. Some of the other suggestions were, excuse me, have them search bags. I'm not having a 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old search bags, just rummage through there. There are some concerns. I didn't address this with, medical stuff, medicine, things of that nature. We are going to take those exceptions at the gate. I had one of the members call me and say, hey, excuse me, I'm on insulin. I have my needles in there. I don't want anybody rummage. It didn't matter if it was, a public safety officer who's 65, or, or, a 15 or 16 or 17-year-old kid. I don't want people rummaging through my bag because of needles and things of that nature. Fair point. So we're trying to find that happy medium of we think this is a good solution. It takes the guessing away. Yes, rule breakers are going to be rule breakers. Are they going to wrap it up in a towel? Are they going to shove some stuff in the middle of the clear bag and hide it? We're still going to have people walking around, but if we narrow that down from, 10 to 20 people in the pool to 3, 4, or 5, then, we're making progress. Okay. In the back, right, the young lady with the little girl. So the question is, what if this doesn't work? Great question, because we're already contingency planning on this. One of the suggestions over here was, hey, do what we do at rec when you sign out a golf club, when you do for mini golf. We're talking about, writing your name and site number down. This off season and through.
We already have them.
And that you beat me to it. So during the off season, we're talking with what's the cost, because now we'll get in a cost per minute. Okay. Put a scanner in there. You have to come to the pool with your card, scan in and out. You scan in, we know who you are. There you go. We can track you down. But there's up at the water park though, you're scanning people in and out at, I think, a higher rate. I don't know. What I've seen more people going through up at that gate. The other challenge with that though is scanning in and out. Billy Joe can scan in, and then all of a sudden, Martha, Tom, Bob, they're all members. The gate's already open. They come in. So there's some challenges to that as well. But we are thinking about what's what's the next step if this doesn't work? Yes.
But I just would like a.
Lot number.
You know, I work for a living, so my wife has 3 kids. She goes to all the lessons. They're very welcome. I think they're 12 kids.
Mhm.
But she's by herself. So when she goes in the morning, you got a diaper bag, you got a big giant pool bag with 3 towels, changing clothes, then they go to tennis after that.
Mhm.
So how many red baskets does she get? I mean, like, how is that even, did she get a lanyard pass on her bag?
Clear.
3 kids, gear, 1 golf cart, I mean, it's just a lot to ask. It's basically single mom. How many of those is she gonna need? And then, my
Well-
question is, we get to the pool,
Mhm.
now we have to unload all of our gear into this.
Mhm.
Carry it in the pool, then I send her back to the car, and then we got 35 minutes to swim, or, I mean, it's one rule being another, it doesn't seem to work.
How did she do it now?
And it just seems like there should be some sort of element, just, you said searching bags and things. I was in the military police for a long time. You can get a dollar rag, you don't have to put your hand into a bag. There's a lot of ways to go about it. We're talking kind of circles about everything, but to really limit bags is borderline really authoritarian. Like, it's almost too authoritarian, in my opinion. I get it that the bag. Order a drink, I need to smell it.
Mhm.
There, you can ask a question, and I don't think a 15 and 16, 17-year-old, they're lifeguards. The pool is their job. The safety is their job. If there's an issue, public safety should be there like that,
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. So-
You know, if one of the, these are one of the adults is there, hey, we got a bag that's a little big, let's get the dowel rag, let's get the ruler, let's look through it just to make sure. Boom, here's a sticker on your bag, you're good for today.
So your scenario that you're talking about, I've lived every day going through TSA and all this other stuff. They're not 15, 16, and 17-year-old kids. Again, if you want somebody to yell at, then you can yell at me because I understand your passion on that. One, your wife's doing a great job, it sounds like now, with all these bags. Make it a mesh bag, make it a clear bag. She's already got the system down, swap it out, okay?
I'm a working adult, right? That's another thing I gotta go purchase now. You know, you can see my point.
I see your point.
Beautiful bag.
I see your point. I'm in the same spot, okay? I am not gonna put 15, 16, 17-year-old kids into searching people's stuff. Yeah, I think you had it.
78.
Okay.
Do you keep an incident? You got 156 people that go to the pool. How many problems do you have with 156 ratio? What's the ratio? What percentage are we looking at?
Yeah.
How many have you had
So-
since this year? How many incidents this year? have-
I don't have that information here. As far as actually writing up violations where people have hit where it's hit their account, I'd say less than 5 right now. So again, take a look at the process that we're trying to do is if you want to talk authoritarian, all right, we can start writing everybody up and we can start throwing everybody out. If you want to start doing that, we can start doing that. But here's the, you know what? I got an excuse for everything that I have here. Okay, we're trying to come to some medium ground on this. Yes.
And most of us members here are hard working families. That's what got us here. We don't break rules. I feel like we're being treated like third graders.
So the question was, if this is an open discussion, why have we already done this stuff? So again, I'm open to hearing other suggestions, but then if we don't have any good ideas, so we've already heard one of, hey, what about empty containers? We'll take that back and we'll consider that, right? But 4th of July is right around the corner. We got a plan for it. We're implementing this. 4th of July is around the corner. We want to give members options to, here you go, come to the pool. Because the other thing that's not being talked about is you're gonna have guests, you're gonna have campers. You know, they're gonna show up and they're gonna be, well, I didn't know this. Well, here you go. Here's a basket, put your stuff in, go enjoy the park, and then return it when you get back, when you're done. So, yes.
I'm hearing something I'd like you to follow, because I think you guys all work very hard to run this park and that's what's done. But what I'm hearing is, we're all for community, please change your ways. But I'm not going to punish the people that continue to live their ways. And I'm not going to. That would say, whether I don't think you're trying to. What we as members want is we want you to punish those that are breaking the rule, not all of them. And what we're hearing you saying when it reaches the Facebook pages, that there's not going to be any real punishment, they're going to bring in the roundabout. It's going to get worse for you, not better. So please clarify that. Are you going to punish rule breakers or are you not?
Yes, we are, and we have
That's
that.
what you have been saying.
That I would disagree with that because I've given you examples of this continues to happen on a regular basis. What's your, no, I appreciate that.
We don't want to punish the people.
That's completely, no, I would say that's completely false because we've walked through what we have been doing. We've been asking people to leave. That's a form of punishment. If it gets escalated, we have public safety come. If there's altercations, you get written up. We do issue violations. We've had abusive staff. We do those things. Yeah.
Thank you for clarifying.
You're welcome.
Can I make a comment?
Sure. Go ahead.
I'd like to make a comment. Some of the things that have happened, not just with this incident with a broken glass, but a couple of years ago, I think you could get your golf clubs without having to check them out, right? You just pick up a golf club and pick up the ball and you could go play by yourself. Well, I think 3 years ago, the toilets were blocked with 25 or 30 golf balls just thrown down the toilets. So some of us went out and bought more golf balls so they could still play the game. Some of them are getting kicked out into the field and they just don't come back. All new golf balls and new golf clubs were purchased this year. And about Memorial Day, I heard that 4 or 5 of them were broken right in half. And that's why you had to check them in and check them out. I saw complaints. I mean, we got to check our golf, we have to show them a card to get our golf club. Now, those are minor things, but I think the real major thing is if you see something, say something. And I'm hearing Ellen say, most of us are responsible people, and we don't really want to get confrontational with the knucklehead who came in with the booze. Or we don't want to say, hey, you know, you've got a 3-year-old and they've got crackers all over the floor here. They're not supposed to go in with food. They're not supposed to go in with pop. They're not supposed to go in with Gatorade. And that's what's been happening. Now, if there's a better suggestion, the board, and you know, how come the board doesn't do something about that? That was on those Facebook pages. We just support the staff. Now, if the staff brings up an issue, we have to address it in one way or another. This is one way that was thought of. Maybe it's not the best way, but we're open for better suggestions. How many of you have said something or should have said something, but you didn't? I know I'm one of those guys. I saw 2 rental carts racing today with kids driving it. I didn't get their number. I should have said something. They were just rented today, and 2 young kids with more young kids were racing over near the, just past the water park. My fault. I'm bad. My bad for not saying, hey, who rented those carts? You know, was it R0095 or was it R0068? But I think if we say something, this is our place, and we need to take care of some of those crazy little things that happen. I walked into the CC 13 a year ago and it was flooded. Thinking, wow, there's a water leak. was flooded the next day. How do you stop that? Then you gotta take the valve off so the kids don't flood the floors. That's the easiest solution. Give the handle to the custodians and to the maintenance people, but take the handles off that used to be there. So that's just a thought. If we see something, we need to say something. And some of us have kids who are 14 or 15 or 13 or grandkids. And we know what we did when we were 14 or 15 or 16. Give them a little slack. But when it starts damaging things and creating problems, nobody wants to walk in glass on those pool surfaces. So you're hearing from a board member who's passionate about this place, but also about being reasonable with some expectations. Sorry if I got emotional here, but this is a hot topic. There's more people here. There's more than 3 times the amount of people here that was at the board meeting last Friday. Of course, the topic wasn't this last Friday.
Yeah, go ahead, Sharon.
Is there always a lead at every pool?
Yes,
So that means there's always someone who's 18 at every pool, correct?
yes.
So hypothetically, we keep the same rules, we make punishments harsher for those who are violating them. And we just give people the authority. If I'm at the pool and I see someone with pop, I'm not approaching them because but I'm gonna go to that lead.
Right.
And I'm gonna say something. And then the lead should go to the person and because they're an 18-year-old and say, you can't have that. They give them 1 warning. If they don't fix it, then the lead calls the PSO.
Yeah.
And then none of us are being like.
Okay. Yeah.
If they know, like,
And that's how it is, Kelly, right? Isn't
no,
that the
because
rule?
people still we're still bringing in water, we're still bringing in Gatorade, we're still
Okay,
bringing in beer. The rules say no liquids, period, at the pool.
So we need to get the rule out there so everybody's aware of it. Campers need to be aware of it. If they don't read the sheet and they get when they arrive and check in, shame on them. They can't be held liable. I mean, they can't be let off, a slap on the wrist because they chose to not read. You see what I'm saying?
Warning, nobody.
Like, I think people in general, I mean, from raising 4 kids, don't we grow up with that fear of punishment of like, if we do something wrong? I'm not gonna go do that if I know the punishment is a lot harsher. If I know you're gonna say, hey, Sherry, you can't go to the pool for the rest of the year because you screwed up. Guess what? I'm certainly not gonna do it. Because that's how I raise my kids. I mean, that was reasonable, right?
But it still goes back to the point of right now, the rules are no drinks at the pool.
Exactly.
Then there should be no drink. We shouldn't even have this discussion on what kind of glass we should have because there shouldn't be any there now.
I understand what you're saying, but the form of the cup that I bring my water to the pool.
You're not supposed to bring it in the first place. That's what the rules say. It does not say that. It does not say
All
that.
right, let's tone it down a little bit. Let's tone it
It
down.
doesn't say that.
Then it needs to be changed. You should be able to.
Well, we're trying to change it. As easy as bringing in a glass that somebody can see and we're having a shit fit about that. And you're not supposed to have that at the pool in the first place.
You can bring water into the pool.
Let's wrap it down a little bit. Okay, so.
We're not just talking about water.
Microphone to back.
Okay. Roger, can you, she's been standing and done. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm Teresa. I'm 1325 Bay Street.
Thank you.
And I think that clear bags are extreme. That's way too bad, too much for us. The regular bags we bring, the glasses, it's just ice water. I'm not gonna give my kids alcohol, my grandkids alcohol. It's just ice water. And we can't regulate the campers coming in. All of them are all different too. So it's just keep it regular bags, but the ice water in clear if you have to, but the little drinks. But
Okay, thank you. Roger, I think this lady's got a question.
You're arguing about that?
One thing I'm gonna know is these baskets. What's the difference between a basket and the bog bags that stay open that have holes in them? There's a lot of bags that are similar to baskets.
Yeah.
So parents should be able to bring the same type of material or the same type of open bag.
So I think that's a valid point. I was looking for an example of one of those to try and bring tonight. So, okay. Yeah.
And also, why are we doing warnings? When you're driving down when you're driving down the street and you have alcohol in your cart, do you get a warning? No. Why are we giving warnings for alcohol? Done. Kick people.
So again, nobody said anything about warnings for alcohol, okay? The rule. Ellie,
It's a rule.
the rule says
No
no
pets,
beverages.
Beverages.
At
Yep.
the end.
Yep.
Says no pets, food, gum, glass, breakable objects, smoking or beverages
Yep.
are permitted in the pool. Doesn't matter if you have beautiful Stanley, doesn't matter what you carry, you are not supposed to have a beverage. And bottom line is, if you can't go 50 minutes without taking a drink, then there's a problem. And I don't care what you. Talking water, not alcohol. It doesn't matter.
Okay, so hey, again, thank you. Yeah, that, have the rule here. So we will take a look at that bag. I think I understand that bag. Abby, do you know what bag she's kind of talking about? We will take a look at that. Absolutely. So, right in the back there, Roger.
Aaron's bringing a bottle.
Okay.
My sister asked Jeff.
Holly Moore, K77. First of all, you guys probably should talk to the golf course about rules, because when they get drinkers out there, they break the rules, they get kicked off the golf course. So you guys might want to team up with them and hear about some of their stories and how they handle it. Secondly, with this guy in the basket thing, if you've got 40 baskets and I'm standing in line for 15 minutes or 45 minutes outside waiting to get in, and I gotta unload all my gear and grandkids and whatever else to get in, while the baskets are trying to come out from the pool, you're gonna have chaos. And I think there's other ways to handle that, allowing people on their baskets. Just punish the people who are disobeying the rules. And it's a quick, easy way to do that. These are 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds. Just have a card, hand them a card and say, I'm giving you a warning. Flip them a card, say, you get up and get rid of your stuff. And if they don't move, then you call the security officer to come down and handle it for them while they're keeping their eyes on our kids and the things of the pool. Secondly, when people are checking in, these girls or the guys, the lifeguards that are waiting there, have them start making announcements about the drinks and about the food. You're coming up on 4th of July. There's no way you're going to hit everybody with the campers and the people that are coming in to switch their bags out and to change stuff. But you can implement things that are quick and efficient and easy inside of the pool to take care of that. For instance, make a copy of something when somebody's coming in with their trailer, their camper, their tent, hand them a card that says, just a quick reminder, no food, no drinks, no alcohol in our pools. If there aren't, these are the consequences.
Yep.
Okay. The other thing too is holidays. I'm guessing you have higher incidents with alcohol during the holidays.
Yes.
So I'm guessing our 5 incidences that we're talking about is not 5 every week. I'm guessing we have once a week, on the average, maybe 2 a week, which is a low ratio percentage. So I'm guessing it's more higher during the time our camping season, correct? During our high holidays, where we have a lot more outsiders that come in and are here to visit family.
So, okay, no, so good comments, thank you. Higher incident rates, I would say yes, during the holidays, we see We see where this activity ramps up, gets spiked. We do hand out camping packets. We do highlight the rules. We've done an excellent, Janelle, who's our camping manager, she's done an excellent job of that. They have, you know, in that camping packet, here's all the information that you need to know, including the top rules that you should be following, okay? The higher incident rate during the holidays with camping, again, I want to reiterate that this isn't just campers. I'm not saying that you said that. That's how I inferred that, is this is not just campers. This is associates, this is members. Again, phase two, I'll give you an example. Phase two, lady was down there with her associate daughter and grandkids, and the associate daughter brought in a smorgasbord of food in the new pool. And the lead went and addressed that, and the mother got in her face and basically said, when my grandkids are hungry, they're gonna eat. Okay, so we did. So they did get escorted out. Now, here's the deal, okay? PSO is not 100% focused on the pools. PSO are on medicals. They're in other areas. When they get called, they will get called and they will go if there's not a medical issue going on, okay? So the carte blanche of call PSO, there's more to the PSO's responsibility than hanging out at the pool. I'm gonna get that young guy right there. Yes.
Obviously, a lot more people than probably expected.
No. I expected a lot more. I expected people outside the window there, but keep going.
But anyway, so, I mean, we have rules in place. I understand everyone's kind of getting bent around the axle about this. We're affecting children, kids, and just barely adults, 18-year-olds to enforce these things. I understand that you're saying that the PSO is busy. Why don't we have more of an active presence for the PSO walking?
So, good question. Here's one of the reasons. Again, I have limited staff, okay? Thank you, Holly.
Come in many sizes, but.
I don't know if that's a really excuse though. We need to get a better.
Hold on, I didn't finish the statement yet. But hold on.
That's the bog bags.
These are the bog bags.
Mine's much bigger than that. Yeah, I've said it. Limited to 10.
So I don't.
That's legal?
That's a money bag. I don't, again, we're. I would defer this to the staff that's got to actually implement this, right? I can see in it, yes.
Baskets clear on the outside? Are they wired? Are they like?
You've seen a shopping basket at Meyer, right?
So
that's the shopping basket. That's the shopping basket that we're getting.
No,
okay.
so that's actually.
So getting back to your question as to PSO, all right? We do have limited staff. One of the suggestions was on Facebook, just have PSO regular there at the pools all the time. That's not going to happen, guys and girls. We have PSO for other things in the park that they're not going to stand and they're not going to operate the pool or watch the thing. So again, a lot of these suggestions are great. Cost impact to that, we need to go back and think about. So just running the numbers, if you do hypothetically, and I'm not saying this is what PSO get paid, but hypothetically, if you do $20 an hour for PSO and they're working 500 hours during the season, that's 10 grand. I need 4 of them, one at each pool. That's $40,000. We're getting beat up. We're getting beat up.
I don't recommend advocating for a full-time PSO in a pool. But the problem is right now, if you go down to their lair, they've probably got 3 or 4 of them right now in there. I'm just saying, an active presence in some of these community areas. They're going to interrupt this issue.
I think they've actually increased their active presence Are they standing at the pools? No, they're not, but I would say their presence in the community has been active. Yeah, right here in the white, yes. Hold on, Mike's coming, sorry.
Questions regarding the bags. Why can't we dump them out like the TSA, like you would do? It's simple, easy, we keep the bags, everybody's happy, there's nothing out.
I would take
What do
two.
you about there?
No, that's kind of where we're going with. Here, dump it in the basket and go. You can see the activity. So again, anything that slows down the line, I've already heard over here, hey, it takes too long. So we're trying to get people through that line in an expedited manner so they can go enjoy the pool. I like the idea. I just think that it's gonna take too long. Same with, hey, all right, it's time to let you in. And I have 150 people, hypothetically, I have 150 people that have to sign in with their name and site number. Okay, that's great for the first 5. The last, 150, 154, 155, you're now halfway through your time at the pool. So a lot of this stuff is trying to expedite it through as quickly as possible. Yes, in the red. Thank you, though. Yeah, red, white, sorry.
I want to say that I do think that Ellen came up with a good idea of swiping your card, because one of the things I heard was that you confront someone and they tell you their name and their site board number and neither exist. So accountability is hard to come by. We have to get in the library with our card, into the North Shore building with our card, we have to get to the pool with our card, and we all understand that as you walk in, you are required to swipe. And if you don't swipe, then there's going to be a problem. Each family, that takes away the accountability part of it and some of that confrontation. It also allows us to keep the bags we have, keep the cups we have, and not take away, to not put the responsibility of it on the 99.9% who are not doing it. And I'm hearing 5 so far for the year, which probably a lot of them happened on Memorial Day weekend.
No more.
So instead of beefing up for
No
just every day, but beef up maybe for 4th of July, Memorial Day, and Labor Day, which I'm sure you already do, but maybe there's some more consideration of that.
Yep.
The other thing is, a little background for me is that my family and I have been through 49 states. We've camped all over the country. We've been in 11 provinces. We've been in campgrounds that are just for overnight. We've been in campgrounds that are mostly seasonal stay. We've been in all different kinds of campgrounds. And I'll tell you, I've seen this happen in other campgrounds that we've stayed at, because we are full-time RVers now. We have been for a little while. I'm seeing rule fatigue happen. I'm seeing such a volume of rules that it's almost what you're putting on your staff. It's kind of a combination of the kickback you're getting from people because of all the rules, but all those rules are also kicking back on your staff because they have to enforce them. So you are going to lose your staff, and you're probably going to lose your better families, not necessarily the ones that are breaking the rules. So I think that one of the things that that need to happen is, I understand that there's a rules committee here, and maybe instead of entire booklets of rules, you start going about simplifying some things and eliminating all the little steps of rules that you've had to place on top because something's not getting done. And the other thing is, I'm also hearing that you keep having to repeat yourself for rules to reinforce. And it's been a rule for a really long time, but you have a lot of people that are coming in new. Either they're moving in, they're camping for the first time, they're new associate members, all those types of things. So those things are going to have to be repeated and repeated often. It's kind of just the piece of being in a campground. But I do feel like there's some rule fatigue going on, and adding this on top of everything else. I think the big showing you have here is an opportunity for you guys to reflect as a board on maybe how to move forward through this and put a process in place where maybe there isn't a knee-jerk reaction of how do we fix this? And we ask some questions, some procedural questions before we institute something like clear bags and bottles.
Okay, no. Also, a couple things on that. One, again, it's not a new rule. I just want to continue to hammer that. I understand what you're saying, but there is no rule for bags. Okay. Okay. Hold on. Let me finish. Okay. You go in the rule book. there's no rule for bags, okay? What we are saying is, from a procedural standpoint, the policy to ensure that this rule of no beverages and no food allowed, you have to bring in a clear bag now. It's not a rule, it's a policy, procedure, process, so we can have you quickly walk through that line, make certain that there's no food, there's no alcohol, there's no drinks in there. Okay, so it's not a rule. The last comment I'll make on this is, we've sat down with the staff. This has been brought to us from the staff because they deal with this day in and day out. Okay, so we have kind of thought about this, getting input from members such as this. Yep, we're going to take some of these considerations and things that I like what the lady back there had about cards and I love the idea of signing in. It's going to take too long to have everybody sign in. Card swipe is the way to go. It's not going to happen this year. It's not going to happen this year. Next year, you'll probably start seeing card swipes. So bring your cards, put them in.
You guess that cards too?
Whatever.
Like campers, they get to.
Yes.
cards.
Yes, guest have cards as well. So we are taking some of these things into account. We've got this recorded. We're going to take a lot of the stuff, feedback. We'll review it tomorrow, early next week. Abby, myself, the staff will go through this and we'll try to see what we can do. This is the best thing that we came up with. We're not saying it's going to change, but we're not saying that it's not going to change or we're going to try something different. Okay. I can take two last questions. Hold on. I'm going to take that young lady back there, Roger, on the corner. Yep. You. Yes, absolutely. And I didn't even card you.
My name is Janet Fischbauer, lot 781. I've been a member since 1990. I agree with all the goals, raised 3 kids here. Love Sandy Pines. We're buying our 3rd trailer from Vacation Land in 2 weeks. I just strongly believe the consequences have to be stronger for those who violate. For example, the last time we got our trailer, it was broken into. A meth addict who was an associate member that lived on the street, broke into 10 trailers. They were kicked out of the park. I know that's more of an extreme, but you can't, and I understand the whole thing with the lifeguards. I think of every time I go to the pool, but this is just too much for people. I have a condition called CRPS, also known as a suicide disease. I have an iPod that controls leads in my back. I have painkillers in my purse. I not go anywhere without it.
Yep.
I'm not going to start putting my painkillers in my iPod and losing it, changing bags. I need this purse wherever I go.
Agreed.
And
Completely agree.
that's it. Consequences for those who misbehave.
Yep.
Do not punish me and tell me I can't go to the pool with my purse.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So on that comment, it brings up a great point that I failed to bring as one of the scenarios that, hey, there's some exceptions. I think I've maybe talked about a little bit, medical exceptions. I've got somebody in my family that has an allergy, peanut allergy, has an EpiPen. You know, there's a specific container that's going to fit in a little zip bag, Lululemon bag, if you know what that is. We're not going to empty that out, put that. Where this idea came from was, if you go to concert venues, you go to sporting venues, you go to places like that, they ask you clearly on their websites, come prepared with bringing your stuff in a clear bag, unless you have a medical or things of that nature. So we are making some exceptions. We'll get Roger, that young lady in the back there in the black, and then we're going to have to wrap this up. We're a little bit over, but we're going to have people coming in setting up for tomorrow. So yes.
I'm piggybacking a little off of what she said, but I do want to start by saying I actually do believe that treatment of staff has become a major problem. My kids come home at least once a week and have a story of a lifeguard getting yelled at, 2 dads getting in a fight. I mean, it has become a major problem. So I'm glad that we are trying to do something to, constantly like just be kind. But it is a problem. Kids are watching at the pools. It is where all the kids in this place are, and they are watching the way the adults behave. So I do totally understand and acknowledge that that is a problem. But I do think it needs to be accountability for those people. And I don't think it even has to be immediate, to be completely honest. Like, I had a PSO knock at my door last week and like, did you know your daughter ran a stop sign in phase 3 yesterday during the garage sale? I mean, there's got to be a way we can figure out who these people are that are treating these lifeguards terribly. And can't Phil show up at their door? I mean, I just don't quite understand why, but I'm serious. She didn't. We ran it too. But anyway, they find a way to enforce.
Right.
That's the truth. And she was terrified because she thought he would come up and knock at the door and was like, uh-oh. And I was like, well, I guess I don't understand why I can't come back and be like, listen, your kid was super rude to the lifeguard today, or your associate member was super disrespectful to our staff. Because I do think all of us would be mortified, right, if our guests are, associated. I just don't know why there isn't a way to enforce the bad behavior that's happening, just like they do with the kids speeding or any of those things, because it is a lot to immediately say, I have teenagers, they don't want to call their personal belongings in a clear bag to take it to the pool.
Right.
So it feels a little extreme.
Understand.
Everybody, but I do thank you for trying to do things, because I do feel really sorry for those 15, 16-year-olds, and they do get treated very poorly, and I have seen it firsthand. And Abby, you do a great job with rec. Our kids love it here, and I do think as adults we need to be better about that. But punishing everybody for some is tough. It's tough.
Understand. So we're gonna have to end it here, because we've got people, yes.
I think it's important to acknowledge that.
Like number on their bathing suit, 3 inches high.
Inappropriate wear.
And do an amazing job, and it's just no fault of theirs.
All right. Hey,
I like her.
I want to end on this comment that was just brought to my attention here. Again, Abby and the rec staff, they're doing a great job, right? This is no fault of theirs. They're looking for us to help them. So we will take a lot of the stuff in advice. Abby and I will sit down and see what we can try and change. Be patient with us. This is something that we're trying to help the kids do better, have a better job. Okay. All right. Thank you.